How ready and keen were you to get back into management when the Ipswich opportunity arose?
Very keen. Yeah, I've been out for 8 months. I think it surprised a few people that when they heard the length of time I'd been out. Admittedly, there was the season ended and it went through to the pre-season, so there was about 3 months, I suppose, when I wasn't working and well, a lot of other people weren't. But I was ready to go back. I've been out too long.
What convinced you to take the Ipswich job over other opportunities?
Well, there's an assumption that I had loads of opportunities in the summer, which I didn't. My name was linked with lots of jobs. I certainly didn't go around speaking to them all, that's for sure, and any I did speak to I would keep to myself. But when I spoke to Ipswich, and they're rock bottom, I think having spoke to everybody, the club's always spoken about in glowing terms, and the place and the fans and everything else. And I've found out that myself already in the 3 weeks I've been here. But of course the team's struggling. If it wasn't, they wouldn't have had a change of manager. So I looked at all of that, and could I change it around, keep the club up? Then yes, I believe I can. And I think it's a good opportunity to then build something if once we achieve our first objective, which is staying in the Championship.
Okay. How do you approach taking charge of a team in the circumstances that Ipswich currently find themselves in?
Well, you know, it's like any other place that you find yourself. Generally you get a job because the team's been struggling. So you've got to turn results around and probably turn people's mindsets around and people's attitudes around and give them a bit of confidence. But you can't just walk in. There's no injection for confidence. Confidence comes from playing well and winning games. Thankfully we started well. But like anywhere else, wherever you are, you've got to win football matches. It's not there's no other agenda for the manager than winning football matches. Behind that, it might be building a good squad, building a good club, it might be doing something with the academy, it might be managing, it's all those things, but fundamentally it's winning games.
Is improving morale amongst the players one of the first objectives, and if so, how do you go about doing that?
Of course it is. I don't think there's a bad atmosphere here. The lads seem like a good set of guys, and you know, they all get on well, and to be fair, they all work hard. There's no shirkers there, that's for sure. Looking at the stats and Pro Zone and how far they run, how hard they work, the problem with that is it's probably chasing the ball rather than having the ball and making the opposition run around. So that was okay, but morale, and as I said to you, confidence comes from being organised, not getting beaten, understanding what you're doing and understanding and believing in it. And then when it starts to produce results, hopefully it does, confidence comes, morale gets better, team spirit's always better, the whole place, the whole town feels better.
And you've won promotion to the Barclays Premier League twice before with both Sunderland and Wolves. How important will that pedigree be in achieving progress with Ipswich?
Well, I think in any job, experience, having been there, seeing it, done it at this level, whatever job you're doing, I think that's vital. They generally don't employ people who have had no experience. I guess some do, odd occasion. So for me to have been there and know what it takes certainly to get promoted, and the kind of players that it takes to play in this league, because there is, I think, a certain type. I think it's vital. It's great for me that I've got that, and I think it's good for the club that I've got that experience.
The Championship currently has a lot of very experienced managers, with Steve Bruce, Ian Holloway, Tony Mowbray, to name just a few. What's your assessment of the calibre of the league?
I thought you'd have mentioned Warnock. He's one of the most experienced. So I know you're not going to mention them all, but there is a fair group of experienced managers in there. The league overall, it looks to me like the top of the league. I mean, there's some good teams there, I fancy. I mean, Crystal Palace we've played in my first 5 games. Leicester we've played, and I think they were both excellent. Cardiff, who I've seen, look a really good side. And then down beneath them, I think there's going to be a clatter of all fairly similar, battling away for those playoff spots. And like every other year, any team can beat anybody in it. It's the strangest of leagues. You can have a good run. You can go, if you're one of the top teams, 4, 5, 6 wins on the bounce, and suddenly find you've had 3 or 4 defeats on the bounce, and you wonder how it happens. There's not that much between them, and sometimes it's a little bit of brilliance from an individual. It's a bad decision, it's a good decision in somebody's favour, but it's much of a muchness. The teams, the players, very, very tough league to play in this.